Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Perkins, and I am so excited to be here with you today. You know, the reason we're all here today is to unlock the secrets behind creating synergy and influence with virtually everyone you desire. Now, how does that grab you? It sounds pretty great, doesn't it? In addition to unlocking these secrets, would you like me to simplify the process so it is a piece of cake? Yeah, today I'll do that. Sweet, huh? Well, to do this, I will be sharing some awesome Dr. K tips and tools. And the number one secret behind creating the synergy and influence with virtually anyone, it is knowing these secrets and how to use them that is the key to getting what you and your loved ones need and want, and getting it easily and ethically, and that the people are happy to give it to you. It is the key to having people desire to cooperate, go the extra mile, and have your back and support you no matter what. Sounds too good to be true. I am thrilled to tell you that it is true. What you're about to learn is going to make life so much sweeter. It really comes down to this quote by J.G. Holland. He says, "The secret of many a man's success in this world resides in his insight into the moods of men and his tact in dealing with them." His tact in dealing with them. Now, I love this because it comes back to the title of this webinar, Tame the Animal. So what does that really mean, and why should you want to do it? Well, people too are animals. We have our quirks, our good and not so good qualities, our natural instincts. In fact, have you ever heard the phrase, "It's the jungle out there"? Yeah, if you were the only person in the jungle that you knew of, you would find yourself facing many challenges. In fact, those challenges probably would start off with things like, do you want to eat or be eaten? Yeah, we don't want to be dinner. And better yet, the real question you're going to want to ask yourself is, how do I find a way to live with all of the creatures in this jungle in harmony and with an energetic synergy? In fact, is it even possible for that to happen? Well, it is. Here's a prime example, and no pun intended. But Tarzan, did he treat everyone the same? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Did he win over 100% of the jungle? No. Yet he did create a powerful synergy and loyalty with many, which allowed him to be extremely influential, safe, trusted, and loved. What might be some of the reasons for Tarzan to want to tame the animal, also known as interacting and being persuasive and influential with those around him? Well, I call it the Tarzan 5. 1, avoid being dinner. 2, be part of a community. 3, learn from those who already know. 4, get help when you need it. And 5, have support. Well, so let's ask this. What are some of the reasons for you to interact in a persuasive and influential way with those around you? Well, I'd imagine it's 1, avoid being dinner. 2, be part of a community. 3, learn from those who already know. 4, get help when needed. And 5, support. So, have you ever pondered what the benefits of being a master influencer might be? Well, let me tell you, being a master influencer is going to help you live your own first-class life. You're going to have less stress, more fame, notoriety, and respect, if that's what you want. Definitely will have more wealth and fortune, and you will have time to do the things you love with the people you love. So, how are some ways that you achieve this? Well, first you have to identify not only the benefits, but what are some of the probable consequences from not mastering influential skills? They're easy. Others will control your life. You will have more stress. And sadly, this means you'll also lose clients, sometimes friends and loved ones. Your wealth and fortune will be hindered. And you're going to have lots of time to do the things with loved ones and, the things that you enjoy doing. And oh, my big one, you're going to have a lack of time, which equals a lack of relationships, which often equals divorce. And that's just not with the marriage. You could be divorced of a friend, a family, and again, losing a client. So we don't want to face the consequences, but we do want to face the benefits. So what's in your way? Well, there are three things that I find get in people's ways. One is the people who live in the someday wins. You know them. They're the ones that say things like, someday when I have more time, someday when I have more money, someday when the kids are gone. Okay, the kids never actually move out, so just know that. The second type are the excuse makers. Now, do you want to be an action taker or an excuse maker? I don't have time to figure it out. I don't have the money to invest. Oh, I've tried other things and they just didn't work. And those excuse makers often turn into our defeatists. And the defeatists are people who say, oh, well, I need it right this second. If I can't have it right this second, then I'm not even going to try. Or I doubt I'll be able to make this work. To be influential, we must first know ourselves and influence ourselves. After ourselves, we must understand others. We do this by knowing and understanding the personality traits, characteristics, needs, desires, and motivators. Personality styles have been studied and philosophized about by the earliest of scholars. The way our thoughts shape our mind, the genetic characteristics, the programming, the science of human behavior. We all have our dominant personality style and react positively much faster if someone is interacting with us the way we understand, the way we think, the way we do. This does not mean we all have a single personality style and that we never waver. Quite the opposite. We all have a little bit of each within us. One is always more dominant and the place we feel the most comfortable. To truly be influential, you must study the behaviors and the science behind the personality traits. Have you ever wondered how the brain processes all this information? And to some it appears the processes instantly appear, while with others you struggle? Would you like me to share how to easily take one section of your brain and have the quantum computing programs make absolute sense and work at the quantum speeds they're intended to? Would that make a huge impact in your life? Yeah. Well, it's a huge asset to life in knowing, understanding, and instantly assessing your environment and how to succeed in it. And let's be honest, the number one aspect of your environment is people. And in assessing this is what we call personality profiling. I have spent the past 30 years studying this academically, in theory, in real life, in application, in studies and observations, as well as in my practice, my coaching, consulting, and teaching. And what I've witnessed firsthand is that relationships, sales, productivity, profits, happiness, and more improve 70, 80, 90, sometimes as much as 190%. So would you like me to share some of the secrets I've discovered along the way? In fact, Would you like to know the 2 simple questions that will tell you what to say to get what you want from others? Would you also like me to share with you some tools expert salespeople use to close 80% more of all of their deals? Yeah, that'd be great, right? Would you like to know how to assess your audience within moments of being in the room so you can grab their attention and help them see and want what you are selling? Yes, what you are selling, because we are always selling, even if it's solely ourselves. Yes, you are selling them on liking you, on trusting you, on being kind to you. Can you imagine what it would be like to have your teenager hear and understand and do what you want them to the first time around and feel good about doing it? Well, I promise by the end of this presentation, you will understand the keys to mastering your interactions with friends, family, colleagues, and clients that will put you 87% ahead of the general population. But the real question is, when do you want to learn these skills to easily identify your own and others' personalities and needs? When do you want to be able to interact with them in a way that you both benefit? When? Well, of course, now. You do not want to wait and learn about this someday when. Yeah, you know those someday whens we talked about. Yeah, of course not. You're smart enough to understand that knowing and using these skills are the key to not being so busy. They're the way to success, the way to more time to do what you love whenever you want. These keys will earn you more money, build trust, improve and create lasting relationships. Study after study after study has been done that shows that the wealthiest invest in knowledge, doing anything they can to gain the proper tools. So what is a proper tool? Well, here is my power tip. Of course, invest, but again, invest in the tools that are going to work for you. You've got to start gathering and using the right tools. And I love this. You've got to act. Action changes things. If you don't act, well, you're going to stay stagnant and dormant. And people are like, but I don't want to do anything. I don't want to take an action. I don't want to until I've really, okay. This, I don't want to take action until I've thought about it. Not taking action in reality is taking an action. Only that action or inaction is not going to make your life better. In fact, in most cases, you'll stay where you're at and stagnant. And are you happy with that? If you are, good luck. Or you're going to slip further behind. And is that what you want? I am telling you, by taking action to invest the time and money in yourself to learn new skills, new ways, and new processes is the singular way to change your life to receive more of the wonderful things that you deserve and you desire. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, I hope so. So let this sink in. Proper tools help you gain the knowledge you need. Identify the actions you must take. Develop the skills you must have and instill the behaviors necessary to get what you want, not just once, but over and over and over again. Yes, I promise I will tell you about some great tools as we go. In fact, you're going to know where you need to go by the time we're done when you're faced with this big maze where others just continue to get lost over and over and over again. So I'm always asked for something people can take home to help them remember what to do and something that will help them continue to grow and develop in the area in which we spoke. And I promise you, I'll also give you the opportunity to purchase which will give you more information on the things that we're going over today. Sound good? Great. Well, the real problem you've had to this point is you are so bombarded with your daily must-do list that the thought of jumping into something as complex as the brain and personality profile it can get overwhelming. It feels like information overload. And so when people tell you it's simple to get others to say yes, I understand how you may begin to see something that looks like the problem here on the screen, right? I decided to find a way to simplify it. And would it be okay with you if I take this problem that's so complex and make it really, really simple, and you still get the same wonderful outcome? Yeah, thank you. Well, in life, what many do is they skip the basics because they know we've already learned them. They're second nature, right? So why should they bother going over them with us again? Well, in truth, until we go back and look at the basics again, and I mean basics as simple as having 2 apples and adding 1 apple plus 1 apple equals 2 apples, until we get our apples lined up and they're easy to count, we can't move forward correctly. Most of us, out of necessity, had to rewrite some of our early lessons, and in doing so, we've disconnected some vital data without even realizing it. Now, you may be asking, why on earth is she talking about science and math? We came to learn about getting along with difficult people, or I came to learn how to persuade and influence people, or I came to learn how I can easily get more sales in less time, or how to improve my personal and professional relationships. Or maybe you're thinking, I came to figure out how to get my team motivated and improve productivity. Do any of these resonate with you? Well, they resonate with you because there is a pattern there, and the patterns all link back to communication. See, with all of this, it's instantly identifying the patterns, and patterns are math and science. They're very, very easy once you learn how to do it, though. Communicating is something all of us do, be it internally or externally. Communicating to the degree that we have the most positive impact on our world is, being able to instantly identify again these patterns in the way that others act, react, behave, think, and view their world, so you can communicate and resonate with them where they are comfortable. So you can honestly, yep, you'll like this, you can honestly tell your 5th grader, yes, they will be using math the rest of their lives. And it's okay. You can blame it on me. Sometimes that's easier. So yes, like anything else we do in life, it is like math and science. It's all about, again, identifying patterns that people have in their body language, their tonality, their words, and the way they think. And once you've identified those patterns, you can now be influential in their lives. I want you to consider one more thing. All of us are influenced every day. Would you rather be the one influencing your clients to make sure they get what's best for them, or allow somebody else to do it and maybe it will not be in your client's best interest? Do you want to influence your teenager to do the things you know are going to be good for them? Or do you want others to influence them to maybe take drugs, alcohol, and steal? Do you want to influence your employees to do things that will improve their lives and the company's bottom line? Or do you want negative people to influence them to sabotage the company in a way that you won't even notice until it's too late? See, everyone is influenced all the time. And it is our responsibility to be the influencers ethically and positively so that everyone wins. We win, and the person we're influencing wins. Well, now, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, Ken, I am Dr. Karen Perkins. I'm an international speaker. I've spoken in over 54 countries. I'm a certified hypnotherapist, an expert in human behavior and personality profiling. I do cold reading, which is also known as reading body language, and I teach others how to do it as well. I'm a leading expert and a best-selling author and have multiple white papers published on mindset, internal programming, and emotional intelligence. I'm in the top 1% globally as a change management coach. My doctorate's in business administration and project management with degrees in the science of human behavior. And the list goes on and on. However, the thing I love the most about what I've accomplished, learned, and created and participated in is I love being able to use these skills, to share these skills, and to witness firsthand my students improve their lives, achieve their dreams, and then go on to make even more dreams and have them come true too. You know, over the past 25, 30 years, I have worked with nearly 1 million individuals and small businesses and major corporations around the globe. And I've seen things that are wonderful and beautiful. And I've seen devastation, physical, emotional, economical, and mental. You know, and I've learned there are two constants in life. One is hope, and the other is change. And for many years, I have been the one that companies turned to when things were broken. They wanted me to fix it, be a hardware, software people. When I have to tell you, the hardware and software is easy. You just buy new. The hard part, the people. You know, often when we walk into an office, this is what we see we're going to have to deal with. You know, honestly, this is typically how they feel, not how they look. But be it in a marriage or family or trying to manage an office that slipped into that hostile work environment for one reason or another. Anytime you have two or more people having to work together, be it in the same space or whatever, it can very easily create a dysfunction. And yes, I believe we all come from dysfunctional families. We have our whiners, our complainers, our victims who love being victims. And we have our villains and so many more. You know, we've all experienced people like this who have shown up along the way. And they're not at the top of our wish list of people we want to deal with. Would you agree? Yeah, some of us are still running into them. Well, I want you to know this. Everything you get in life comes from someone else. It's vital that you're able to communicate, to influence, and to speak to them in a way they need. You know, unless you have lived 100% off the grid, make your own things to use and eat from nature, then you definitely are relying on someone else for everything. Well, you know, and really someone is selling, making, growing, or fixing something for us all the time. Even in this photo, we have a very self-sufficient individual who others depend upon, and she depends upon them. But look at what she's got there. Her bike, her helmet, her phone, they were all made by other people. The sidewalk is managed, cleaned, and maintained by someone. I mean, the cell phone itself, it came from a company with employees, phone reps, technicians, HR, management, sales team, customer service, and hey, don't forget those phone lines and electricians. And then the food in her pack. That included farmers, field hands, water and power companies, tractor and tractor part manufacturers, harvesters, sales reps, stores, buyers, drivers, clerks, stockers, sales, management, accountants. Okay, that's a little overkill. But, you know, does this all make sense? Can you see how everything we have, someone else has touched along the way? Well, picture this. Actually, now that you've seen this, do you think you can unsee it? Yeah, you can, but you know what? It's easier just not to see it to begin with. But if you go around viewing the world as if everyone's out to get you or everyone else is weird, or you view it according to the way you see, hear, or would do things, this is what you just might see. And hear this. If you're not interacting with other people in the way they see, hear, or would do things, guess what? You are not seeing them the way that they see themselves and the way they really are. And sadly, if you are not seeing them in that way, often when they look at you, this is what they see. Now, in my perfect world, I'd rather people saw the real person. You know, the real me, the real you, the wonderful you, the you who would love to help out. The I have a fabulous product or service you want to buy from me, you. The I enjoy being happy and others being happy too, you. When you don't stop for that split second and complete a personality profile, assess how you can meet their needs and how they might be able to meet yours, and then interact with them in that way that makes sense and is comfortable for them, you will nearly always be confronted with stressed out, frustrated, annoyed, and annoying and angry people. However, when you apply your newfound effortless personality profile assessment instantly in your head and assess their needs, the I'm happy to work with you people tend to show up. So are you ready to learn how to simplify the neurosciences to the bare basics so you can skip to the head of the line? Yeah, easy is much, much better than difficult, right? Now, Dustin Matthews, the co-founder and original owner of Speaking Empire, and now the CEO of WealthFit, is one of the greatest mentors I ever had. And he taught me those lessons along with other mentors. You know, and I was also honored to be able to be his coach and mentor. And this is what Dustin had to say about that. He says, "What amazes me about Dr. Karen is not her capability to immediately connect with various personalities, but rather her ability to teach valuable tools to do the same. That shows true mastery. When I was struggling, she showed me the tools to communicate more effectively with my team by helping me understand key principles. And that the right tools are powerful." Well, you know, Dustin and salespeople and speakers and realtors and attorneys and parents and spouses, well, really anyone benefits from having the right tools. So what's different about my programs, my solutions, and my training? Well, let me tell you. The information I'm sharing with you today, the key expert of DISC personality profile, a man who became a multi-millionaire by teaching these very skills, asked me personally if he could use my skills, tools, and information in his training and seminars. So when I tell you this information is phenomenal, I'm not speaking to boast. I'm saying it like it is. I'm simply stating the facts. Now, I know many of you may say, well, I've invested in other programs. I've attended other programs. So what's different about this one? You know, I've even had people say, this sounds too easy to be real. I've tried a billion things already. I've spent tons of money or time and nothing worked before. So what's different and why should I believe this will work? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a bad meal? Yes, some have. Do you continue to eat? Well, of course you do, because you need to eat to gain the nutrition and the substance that's going to work. Well, the difference between what I have and what others have, and some are really good, but the difference is I have truly taken the quantum computing information and simplified it down so that when you look at it, your brain will calculate it as easily as adding apples together. And I promise you, you will have a clear path where others see an overwhelming maze to get from where they are to where they want to be. So the 4 simple keys to mastering influence. Number 1 is identify personality styles and needs. This is also known as personality profiling. 2, understand what motivates people. People are motivated according to their personality needs. And number 3, learn how to create synergy. We'll go over the skills of creating a natural synergy so that people feel cared for and feel the desire to assist you any way possible. And number 4, what you don't know. Well, we'll go over what you don't know that you don't know. So when you get these 4 things down, you'll have the core basics to immediately identify the personality of the person with whom you're speaking. And when you can do that, then you can best serve them and you can best help them understand what it is that you're selling. Be it you're selling higher productivity for the company. Be it that you're selling better relationships and harmony. We're always selling. Before we jump into key number 1, let's review a few of the benefits for being a master influencer. Then we'll hit the keys more thoroughly in this webinar. Well, some of the benefits for master influencer: you gain and share knowledge. You build and maintain relationships. You will have less stress and more fun. You can gain fame, notoriety, and respect. Definitely wealth and fortune. And definitely have time and freedom. Remember again, everything you get in life comes from someone else. So the number 1 key to identify the 4 personality styles, and why is it important? Well, you meet a potential client and you want them to be a long-term client. You must know how to interact in the way that motivates them to want to be. Now, if you do not act in a way that makes them want to be a client, you've lost a client. You've lost a client. And how much is this going to cost you? Maybe $10 a month? All right, that's only $120 a year. What could you do with that $120? Maybe it's a one-time sell of $10,000, $20,000, $100,000. Well, then it's cost you $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 and more, because happy clients refer their friends to you. Clients that say, ooh, there's something wrong, I don't work with them, tell at least 6 other people, yeah, I met him, I didn't like him, you don't want to work with them. So now that $120 at $10 a month times 6 people, that's what? 6 times 120 is $720. That's a lot of money, nearly $1,000. $100,000. Well, let's just say $10,000. That's $60,000. It costs you not to be able to do this. Well, another key thing is you have difficult people to deal with, and they are really getting on your nerves. But now you have to ask yourself, are they difficult or just different? If in just changing the way you communicated with them caused a massive turnaround, would this help in your relationships? Would this help in your productivity in your office? Would this help with your bottom line? Of course it would. Let's say you want a raise from your boss. There are key phrases that will trigger the positive response you want. Oh, and I always go into teenagers because I had them. Your teenager just doesn't listen. Well, there just may be an easy solution for this. In fact, I'll tell you there really is. And this list does go on and on. So if you want less stress and more financial security, time for hobbies and loved ones, then the first key is the basis for all of it and so much more. Now, most of you took 2-question assessment that will instantly help you identify your personality and the personality of the person that drives you nuts. Now, as we go through this, I want you to pick one person and one person only that you want to work on communications with and want to work on influence with, and you want to work on getting along better with. And I know most of you have taken this, but we're going to do a quick recap for those who did not have the opportunity. So question number 1. This is the question on the horizontal brown lines, but the vertical numbered lines. And the 2 questions are you more direct and likes being in charge, or are you more indirect and prefer not to be in charge? Well, somewhere towards the middle between the 1 and the 4 is going to be, I like to be the boss, but when someone else is, I'm happy to follow. And up there, way close to the 1, that's your extreme. That's the my way or the highway person. Now, on the other side, from 6 to 10, somewhere in there could be, I really don't want to be in charge, but if I have to be, I'll do my best. The extreme close to that 10 will be, oh, no, please don't make me the boss. I don't want to be responsible for these people and their tasks. Okay, so on that line, decide where you think yourself or the other person might fall. Put an M on the line for me, or in this case, that means you, and an O for the other person. Also note that, yes, the 5 is grayed out and not an option because nobody, as much as they want to or you want to believe it, lives dead in the center. Okay, so now we're going to do the same with question number 2. Well, your question's on the vertical, but your number's on the horizontal. Are you more relationship-centered? You talk first and then worry about doing your task later. Or are you more task-oriented? You like to finish your task first and then talk to people. Well, now these ones, the extreme. 1 on the relationship side would be, I cannot go to my desk and answer a call until I have found out everything that's gone on with everyone over the weekend. 10 on the task side would be, do not talk to me until all of my work is done and yours is too. Well, somewhere along the middle on the left between 1 and 4 may be the, give me a quick highlight and then we'll talk more later. And on the other side between 6 and 10 might be, let me finish what I'm doing and then I can give you my full undivided attention. So here's where my M's and O's most likely fall when ranking myself and one person that I'm thinking of. For me, I know that I'd rather be in charge, and that if I'm not taking care of my task, that when somebody talks to me, part of me is still going, don't forget, gotta get it. And I'm not fully paying attention, which is not fair to them or to me. So I will say, let me finish what I'm doing, and then I will give you my full undivided attention. My person that I used to struggle with and no longer do was pretty much an extreme on the other end. Now, just because I'm pretty much opposite of them is not the reason we had struggles. It was a fact that we didn't know how to communicate with each other. Okay, so they were, I can't function till I know everything going on with everyone. And the, please don't make me take control or take charge. And you can see each quadrant or each section there has got an animal assigned to it. These animals to me are extremely obvious, and that's why I use them. So what do we have? Well, we have our peacocks, our lions, our lambs, and our owls. And our peacocks are our socializers. They're the out front people. They're the see me, the life of the parties. They're our great salespeople and negotiators. Can you picture someone like that? Yeah. And then we have our lions. These are your A-type personalities, your directors, your no-nonsense people. The I'm going to take charge whenever I can people. Yeah, does that resonate with anybody? And then we have our awesome lambs. They're the loyal and likable people. Your amicable folks that get along with everyone. I mean, do you know that support person who wants to make sure you've got all the help you need? And if you need someone to cover your shift, they're the first ones to jump in and volunteer. And then, of course, we have our owls, and these are our analytical people. They enjoy doing the research, getting the details, getting the facts. They make sure that everything is accurate and correct. Are you getting this? Does this make sense to you? You can see how each animal would have its personality and its way of dealing with others. You now know the two-question assessment, and you now know the basic description of each. So now, would you like to know more about them and easy ways to identify them? Great. Get ready to write down some key points. Let's get this out of the way first. I am always asked which animal is the best. They all are in their own way, and we'll talk about this more in key number 4. But often the very things you think are your strengths, someone else may see as a downfall or limitation. And the things that you may see as a downfall or limitations are strengths to other people. So the neuroscience behind it all must be studied and understood. So let's get into some quick basics about each. Our peacocks. These are your socializers. They're your fabulous sales and negotiation people, and of course the life of the party. They are first to a good party, and if it's not good, trust me, they will make it good. And hearing these things, my peacock people are nodding their heads with enthusiasm, saying, oh yeah, that's me. Peacocks are fast-paced, enthusiastic, and have no issue taking risks if they see something good may come from it. And then we have our lions. These are your directors, your A-type personalities. They are great leaders, and they are the protectors of the pride or team. They're also very fast-paced, make quick decisions, and they're almost always right. And they have very little patience with slow-moving events or people, be it turning in their assignments or explaining things. They don't need or want the details. They trust that you have them, and if they need them, they can go to you and ask for them. Right now, all they want are the fast bullet points. Get in, get the bullet point set, get out. We have our lambs. You know, our lambs, they're your lovable and loyal people. They are the glue that holds the group together. They are serving oriented, and they will give and give and give. In fact, you think about it, lambs give the wool right off their back. They are very sensitive. They're a great shoulder to cry on, and they are most likely to be the one crying watching the Hallmark commercials. They are the one at the party who is serving hors d'oeuvres and making sure everyone has their drinks or anything else they may need. And it's usually not their party. And that does lead us to our analytical owls. You know, they are known as the wise old owl, no matter what their age. And they are the researchers. It's very important to them that the information they have and give is detailed and correct. They're often the techies and are typically not comfortable in a crowd. Oh my gosh, they hate the way a lion typically gives directions because a lion gives bullet points, figuring you'll fill in the information. On the other hand, the lion gets frustrated with all the details. Well, now that you know these things, that leads us to our third key, which is synergy, creating a positive connection. You know, and there are areas or basic needs each of us have. And if you can meet these honestly and with integrity, you will have a positive connection with the people you are dealing with. So let's look at each animal individually. Feeding their needs. Let them know that it's making them look good. Point out that their head's above the rest. Provide opportunities for them to have fun and hold friendly competitions. And of course, ask for input on things that are design or planning, especially for things like get-togethers. And they love physical kudos that they can display, you know, a little plastic trophy that says you're number one or something like that. And of course, provide them time off just to have some fun. And then the next area is listen to their wants. Ask questions or use phrases like, oh my God, tell me more. Or, oh wow, how risky was it? And don't say that with being condescending. Say it out of, oh, this is cool. And then of course, wow, then what? And ask how you can make things more exciting for them. Meeting their needs, give them the bullet points. Just get in, get out. Let them know again that you support them in what they say. And take their idea. Actually, honestly, lions are almost always correct. And I don't say this because I am one. It's because they're used to making quick decisions. And so they have honed in on that ability to go with their gut. And their gut is almost always right. Again, be honest and straightforward and respectful with them. And never, ever, ever agree if you don't plan to support it. And don't tell them you're going to do something if you're not. And then, of course, their wants. Is there more you'd like to know? What's the impact? Tell me, what's the top priority? Where would you like me to start? What's the drop dead deadline? Can you clarify? How can I best support you? Feeding their needs. Let them know how it's benefiting others and how they're being of service. Point out the little and the big things they do that are appreciated. Provide opportunities for team relationship building. And of course, the desk drop kudos. They like receiving little chocolate kisses in a card or something like that. And allow time for personal development and time to be off with the friends and family. And then listen to their wants. I like that idea. Can you share more of the benefits it could bring? That sounds good. How did that help? Then what? How may I help you? Or how may I help you help me? Often an owl will stand away from the crowd, and we may forget that their needs are as vital to meet as everyone else's. Typically, it's because they're quiet. Most are shy. Well, they're not fully confident in their social skills because they spend so much of their skills in IT and technology and in researching and not actually with people. So with them, ask them to help gather additional information or research and then share it with the team. Point out that their accuracy level is 112% or whatever. Provide opportunities for knowledge growth and acknowledge the hours and hours of hard work they put in gathering the right information. And ask for their input on projects and the direction and the path. And of course, make certain you find ways to help them feel useful. Listening to their wants, you have to listen to them carefully because they're not likely to tell you. So ask them things again like, well, tell me more. Wow, that sounds interesting. Where can I get more information? Or, did I give you enough information? What can I do to help you? What would you like to do next? And what information can I provide? And again, that takes us right into our fourth key. What you don't know that you don't know. But the fact is, until you start studying and researching and looking at it, there are a lot of things that just will not be clear to you. So again, you must listen, watch, pay attention to each and every person you interact with, and definitely study them, study them, study them. So one of the things that you may not know, I'm often asked, who's smarter? It's often the peacock. And the owls are intelligent because of their natural desires to do research or to be analytical or to do those things. And they are brilliant. And while our owls are considered to be the best researchers and analyzers, your peacocks or socializers are typically considered to be your best negotiators, your salespeople, and your creative artists. In fact, a study conducted with 1,700 business teams by KW Educational Investments back in, I think it was 2009, the highest IQ scores they found were not personality type dependent. However, when they restricted their study for stressed activities and stress-free activities, the personality types really did matter. And what they found is that people who fell under the peacock umbrella scored much higher on the IQ scale with the stressed activities because they were able to adapt more easily to the new skills thrown at them. Well, now let's hit on who is more giving. Now, we talked about this earlier and we all said, oh, of course it's our lamb. But guess what? Often the lion is most giving. Well, now again, the lamb will give the wool right off its back. But a lion's goal is to protect its pride and to see it succeeds. And they will do whatever is necessary to have that happen. I have to tell you, we've got the lions, we've got the peacocks, we've got the owls, we've got the lambs. And as we said earlier, they each have their own special traits, but all of them can do whatever the others do if that's what is so necessary for them. Now, I love Brian. Brian was a sales rep, and he was, oh my gosh, sales are so stressful for me. Well, he came to one of my 2-day master classes, and he says, things are no longer stressful. My sales skyrocketed. Better yet, so did everything else in my life. Fears? No more. She even had all of us eating fire by the end of the event. What a rush. Thank you, Dr. K. Well, you see, Brian was not naturally a salesperson, but in understanding the personality styles of the people he would be selling to, he realized that he wasn't selling. What he was doing was giving them the opportunity to make a decision, and they can't make the decision if they don't know what it is he has to offer. Changed everything about sales. And in sales, who makes the most money? Now, it could be the salesperson. Peacocks, woohoo! It could be your owls because you're analytical people, and sometimes it's your lions because they're often the boss. But in truth, we forget that it's the soft skills of people feeling good around you that lambs are so easily connected to that keeps people coming back. And that's what draws wealth to you. Who is the most sensitive? Well, you guessed it. Historically, owls are extremely sensitive. And their needs are not met because they don't know really how to ask for them to be met. Oh, I love Josh. Josh was having problems with his boss. And Josh came to one of my events and he said, oh my goodness, my boss is a lion and I'm an owl. Now it all makes sense. I know what she needs and I can meet those needs and in return have my own satisfied. For the first time since I took this job, I am not walking on pins and needles waiting to see how she's going to react. I wish I had known this information earlier in life. Yeah, everything for him changed once he understood how to talk and communicate and motivate and do the things that would help his boss, but without him losing what it was he wanted. In fact, he gained more of what he wanted. And here's my favorite question. Who is the most annoying of all the animals? You all are. You know, we all do things that hurt or offend others, and typically with zero knowledge or suspicion that what we have done could possibly have been taken in a hurtful manner. Yet, every second that ticks by, dozens of people around the world have just been devastated by a hurtful comment, look, response, or even a lack of response. Again, it is your responsibility to politely inform others when they've done this to you. It's the only way to find if the action was intended hurtful or not. And if it was, how to rectify it. And of course, that is a training for another day. So When you put these all together, the biggest benefits of a master influencer, of course, you see you've got all of your animals there living beautifully together, but also it is going to help you have less stress, have more fame and notoriety, and of course, living your own first-class life is going to build you that wealth and fortune. And it's going to give you the time to do the things you love with the people you love. And that's really what it's all about. So, again, the probable consequences from not mastering influence skills, this comes down to others are going to be in control of your life. And yes, you will have more stress. You'll lose clients, friends, and loved ones. Your wealth and fortune will be hindered. And you're going to have a loss of time to do the things that you love with the people you love. And again, lack of time equals lack of relationships, which often lead to divorce. So let's be honest, the wise have the right tools. You have to gain the knowledge you need. You have to identify the actions you must take. You've got to develop the skills you must have and instill the behaviors necessary to get what you want, not just once, but over and over and over again. If you wait another hour, another day, another month, another year, I can guarantee you it'll be too late for you to benefit someone you care about already, because you won't have the skill in time to help them. The essentials to success. Is it all right if I share with you some essentials that I have found for success? Well, the first one there is that your success is tied directly to your actions. So write this down. Success rewards actions. Okay, grasp that. Success rewards actions. So, just stop dreaming and start being. Stop dreaming and start being. But the fact is, your action come down to either you invest now or you pay later. You invest now or you pay later. The things you don't invest in now will cause personal and professional issues later. What is the cost versus the value? It's going to cause issues that will cost you, like losing a client, having more stress, more working hours, less personal time, poor health, loss of income that you could have had, a loss of time that you could have had, a loss of relationships you could have had time for, a loss of ability to serve to your fullest. And here's the one that really breaks my heart. You will be setting an example for your kids, for your friends, for your loved ones, and so on, that you personally believe that procrastination is the best thing to do in life, or that life is too hard to try and make it easier. You're setting the example that happiness, wealth, and overall success is only for a select few, and you and they will never be one of them. And you're setting the example that suffering is your lot in life, period. Is this the price you want to pay today, tomorrow, next year, and every year after? If it is, again, you have my best wishes. I wish you all of the luck in the world. So if you are ready to create positive situations with difficult people, if you're ready to learn critical body language signs, to know from across the conference room, a boardroom table, or even as a client enters the door, if they're interested in your service or product or what you have to say. So you can influence appropriately, smoothly, and quickly, so that you can improve relationships personally and professionally, and instantly add an hour to your professional time. Yeah. So may I share an easy way to do this? Before I do, I want to tell you about Dr. Tony Alessandra. Dr. Tony Alessandra is the founder of Personality Assessment University and the author of The Platinum Rule. And Tony often introduces me to people as the expert other experts turn to. And this is what he had to say. He said, Karen helps her students to discover simple yet effective tools and tactics to master each of the 5 components of emotional power: awareness, attitude, empathy, social skills, and emotional management. Dr. Karen is a master teacher and advanced guide to understanding the role of emotions in your life and to dealing with the 4 major personality styles or behavior styles. Isn't that beautiful? Well, it's taking his words, and honestly, he was the first one to jump in and get this. Because of those things, and because I know how vital it is for you to have more information. Our time's limited here today. I want you to have more information about each one of the animals so you can succeed in every area. And so because of that, I have created and am willing to share the Irresistible Influence Covert Animal web series. And basically, it's an individual web for each one of the animals, doing a deep dive into the things to do to help you help them and to help yourself. And, let's look at some of the benefits for the web series. Well, again, you're going to live your own first-class life. Less stress, more fame, notoriety, respect, wealth, and fortune. Time to do the things you love with the people you love. And I love this one. You will have the freedom to own your own life. So what are the features? Of course, there are 4 different webinars. Each is a deep dive for one of the 4 animals, 1 webinar per animal. I'm going to go over things like cold reading and body language guides. I'm going to do some practice demos. I'm going to have some downloads. The webinar itself will be downloadable to review again and again. And I love that picture there in the corner where it says, it's what you don't say that counts. It's what you don't say that really gives the information. So, Irresistible Influence web series. The web series itself, the value is $7.88. But of course, I want you to have this so badly, I am going to discount it for you today to $149.97 for the series. $149.97 for the series, which really is a no-brainer. But wait, there's more. If you act now for the $149.97, I am going to give you a downloadable version of What Are They Thinking, which is body language and being able to read it. And I have certificates toward a luxury 3, 5, or 7-night resort stay. Now, this does not include airfare or any of those things, but it is towards a luxury resort stay. It's not just a regular hotel. It is an honest-to-goodness resort. And that ranges between $600 and $1,500. So, for the $149.97, you'll get the 4 webinars and these 2 bonuses. If all this did was get you 1 more client, would it be worth it? If all this did was prevent 1 disagreement or misunderstanding, would it be worth it? And if all this did was give you the time to spend with loved ones, would it be worth it? Here's a good one, folks. If understanding these skills could prevent divorce, would this be worth not giving up half of all that you own? Now, I tell you, I love this series. It is phenomenal. It is something that I have worked very hard on for over 30 years in getting this information so that I could give it to you. And I know how fabulous it is. So everything I do is risk-free, 100% money-back guarantee. So I'm going to tell you The brightest and the best know to invest. So click now, and for your $149.97, get your 4-part web series and the bonuses that come with it. What's the impact for having the right tools for the job? Well, from knowing the covert animal advantage, yeah, honestly, your ideas will be heard and respected much more often. Your close rates are going to rise more than 28%. You're going to be closing 80, 90, 100% of your deals. Your team will be 63% or more productive. You now have others feeling valued, and relationships improve at least 94%. And you will have instant access to key information. And this is vital information. I want to make this as simple as I can. I know there's always one or two fence sitters out there. And I have to tell you, this information is fabulous, and it's valuable, and it will change your life and the life of those around you. So those fence sitters, the people who are the excuse makers, the someday wins, I'm going to remove your excuses. And now it comes down to, are you willing to take action, or are you going to continue to be an excuse maker? For those of you who have not yet committed to improve your influence and social skills, who have not yet committed to being able to work with other people on a level that's going to make them feel good, and a way that's going to help you have a better life, have your family have a better life. I want you to know I am committed to your success. I'm committed to it. So for those of you who are not quite sure, I want you to try an individual webinar, just one. Try an individual webinar and find all the quality and value it brings you, and then we can go from there. The individual webinars are $197 each online. But today, because I want you to try it so badly, I'm going to allow you to have it for $49.97. $49.97. And again, this is 100% risk-free investment. It's 100% risk-free investment. And I do that because I know all of this stuff is fabulous, and I have no questions, none whatsoever, that this will benefit you and everyone around you. Now again, your risk-free webinar, 100% money back guarantee. I want you to check it out. So click now and check it out, and go ahead and get your individual webinar of choice, risk-free. If all this did for you is gain one more client, if all this does is get you one more client, would it be worth it? If all this did was prevent one disaster, one disagreement, one misunderstanding, would it be worth it? If all this did was give you time to spend with loved ones, would it be worth it? If all this did is give you time to have fun with hobbies, or travel, or do fun things with your friends, would it be worth it? And if all these webinars did for you is to significantly improve your relationships, your finances, or your business, would it be worth it? So again, click now to advance your life. Click for your risk-free webinar or web series package. And I love rewarding people who take quick action. So I do have an extra bonus for those who act now. I have got these covert animal cards, and I'm going to bring up the screen again so I can physically show them to you, if I can get to that. So let me show you these animal cards. So we got this beautiful little case. Folks, I developed these, and and some are upside down. I developed these for my sales teams and for my executives who have to talk to people and they often don't know until the last second. Okay, so we've got these 5 cards. This one has got the assessment on it. You can see that. Instantly identify the animals. But then we've got the core things to know about the animals on each one. And my sales team, they just lay them out on their desk. And then when somebody comes in, they'll do one or two things. They'll say, hey, which animal do you most identify with? And tell them nothing else. And almost always the people pick the one that they really are. And then they've got the key information in dealing with them. They're on the back of the card. I have some that just hold them in their hand and casually look at it when they have to remember, how do I deal with this situation? Because it has those things on it. These cards are fabulous. And you know what? I love them. I just point blank, I love them. And so for those of you who are going to act now, and you're going to get one of the packages, be it the complete webinar series, which I encourage you to get, or if you, with its bonuses, or if you just get the one webinar, I'm going to allow you to have a pack of these cards for a nano fraction of the retail price with any package. Well, now again, I give you permission. I give you permission for more back rubs, to grow a 7-figure business, to close 100% more deals this year, to build that nest egg to overflow, for you to retire. In fact, I give you permission to actually go to the party. But most importantly, I give you permission for more loving and for positive and effortless interactions with everyone. The CAA cards, Covert Animal Advantage cards, but the bonus with the packages, the Irresistible Influence web series, again, was $888. The Covert Animal Advantage cards, they retail for $79.97, which brings the total value to $967.97. But for those of you who are going to take action right now, you get all of it, including the 2 other bonuses, for $169.97. $169.97. You know, you spend more than that sometimes on dinner with friends. And this way, you will have more friends, and they can take you to dinner. So I'm going to say again, for the CAA card bonus package, for your bonus package with either of the sets, go ahead and click now. Click now, because again, I am committed to your success, and I really, really want to see you succeed in life. I'm going to tell you that influence is freedom. Are you ready to start enjoying life more? If strengthening your social skills, if mastering influence brought in, again, one more lifetime customer, if having the knowledge to motivate your team, your teams, whomever, to higher levels of productivity and success, how much would that be worth to you? So let's go over some low numbers. A customer, let's say they average $10 a month. We talked about that earlier. That's an extra $120 annually. If they did $20 a month, that's $240 annually, and you already saved the cost of the package for investing now. So you pay now in investing, or you pay later for what you lost. Okay, so kids, let's say their annual college tuition is $35,000. Well, guess what? You're going to save that if your kid is more productive and they do better in school and they get the full ride scholarships. $169.97. Is that worth $35,000 per year? You know, case studies calculating productivity, they show that there is always a 25% increase in productivity of work teams, leading to approximately $3,609,375 in savings over 3 years, with a 21% time savings for projects, product, and process managers, leading to $5,890 $500 savings in over 3 years. To reduce costs of $835,200 over 3 years to consolidate customer issues, increase the responsiveness of sales and service engineers. My goodness, would it be worth it? And to improve resourcing around projects, resulting in a cost avoidance of $450,000 over 3 years. Having a return of investment being 1,437% minimum. Hey, that's a no-brainer. Is it worth it? If you did your single webinar, which again, I encourage you to do the web series, but if you need to do the single webinar, value $149.97 and $79.97, that brings you to $229.94, and today only, it's going to be $69.97 for the package. And all this will include is the one webinar and the CAA pack. Okay, so the cards that I just showed you, that's it. Okay. Now, for your card bonus, again, just click now. You know it's going to be worth it, because if you don't invest today, you know you will end up paying tomorrow hundreds, thousands, sometimes more, because you failed to develop the skills that will bring you more money, more time, more joy, more satisfaction, and put you in a position to be of more service and a better leader, a better parent, a better you. You know, what dreams do you have? Are you willing to let them come true? Are you willing to do what it takes? And are you an action taker, or are you simply an excuse maker? Only you can say. So I want you today to take control of your destiny right now. So take control of your destiny now. To take action, click here. I, again, am committed 100% to your success. How committed are you? How committed are you? Now, for those of you who have questions along the way, I want you to reach out to the support team and simply send an email to support@dr-perkins.com. That's dr-perkins.com. I look so forward to our next time together and seeing your growth and success. Click now, take action, take control of your destiny. And until the next time, may you find peace and joy in all that you do.